Good morning, campers, and welcome back to Gatsky Farms. This is part 2 of moving video. This is our property tour. I got Leah behind the camera. Amy's in the house putting stuff up, and I figured I'd give you the tour of the property. So, without further ado, let's get started. Here is the entrance to our driveway, which Leah's walking up. Now running up. We go about 10 yards. And you can see our trucks up by the house. And on the left, you can see our pond, which yesterday we had seen fish jump, or at least I think we seen fish jump. Our plan is to see how deep it is, see if it can hold fish, and then have it stocked. The lady that, the previous owner, did say that there was fish in there at one time, but because a few years back we had so much rain, the pond flooded over into the street and the fish all went across the street and died. Coming up towards the house, I have a bunch of trees and a lot of low-hanging branches that I need to take care of, which we are coming up to. Then on the left again, see, when we first looked at this property, none of the flowers were up, none of the trees were blooming, so it was pretty bare, but we still fell in love with the house. Okay, then we have a little fire pit. I don't think that's gonna stay because we need to park that Amy and Leah's big old horse trailer. Now here, we'll start with the horse part. This is a riding arena, and usually they are fenced. And when I asked the previous owner, she said that she had grandkids and kids that would run all around, and she didn't think that if the horse got spooked, she didn't want to be slammed into a fence. Now I think we might fence it in just to be cool. Over here, we'll come over and go to the backyard, and so I can show you guys what we got going on. This is the backyard, which the dogs are going to go crazy. Oh, and I should have brought keys with me. That was a garage, and I guess it's locked. But we can go this way. This here is one of the stalls. Or, I'm sorry, two of the stalls. These are nice, big, roomy stalls. They look 12 by 12, at least. I'd have to measure. They all have rubber mats with hay feeders, and this one doesn't have a regular feeder, but we'd have to get this all set to have the horses come. This here is kind of like a tack area, and then in the summer we would see if I can do this with one hand. Have this open for the horses. Let's go do this way, which is pretty cool. Now Amy was thinking that Arabelle would be in this stall, but for some reason this stall looks just like a little bit bigger. And then Let me close this real quick. Up this way is our hay rack. And let's see if I can get up here. Oh, the opening is not very big, but we have the door. And all this room for hay, if we chose to. I don't think we're gonna do that because it's a lot of work to get hay up here. So we might just use this for storage, but it goes the full length. Now let's see if I can get down without falling. All right, I didn't fall. So then we'll go out this way. We'll go through Arabelle. The reason why she was thinking about this would be Arabelle stalls because there's windows, these old windows open. On this side, it doesn't have windows, but what we're going to do is we have to build some doors. Previous owner said that the doors rotted out and she actually burnt them. So the first thing, one of the big priorities is to make doors for these stalls. This here is a single stall, which again has rubber mats, hay feeder, does not have a bucket feeder or water bucket, but that is all coming. Amy's supposed to take inventory and a window for ventilation. Nice light for an electric hookup. This one would need a door as well, which is okay by me. Now this area here is a paddock, and a paddock is just a big old fancy word for exercise area, training area, or just an area that you can have the horses roam around while your pastures are wet, which is pretty cool. So we have a riding arena, paddock, and then we'll get to the pastures. Now this here is stalls, which one would be Karma's and the other one would be Cass's. Let's see if we're trapped to get to the other side. I think we're trapped. We would have to go around. So with the half doors, they're pretty cool right now, but won't be too cool in the wintertime. But for the half doors, what we're gonna do for now, for the summer, is we're gonna take netting. I guess Amy can buy netting and just put it up so the goofy horse, Goofy Karma or Goofy Cass don't try to jump out. And like I said, one is Cass's, one is Karma's, and all of them have rubber matting. Here is another area, such as a tack area, that has cross ties. And the previous owner left us all these big old rubber hoses that are supposed to be non-freeze rubber hoses. And you know what? If anyone can tell me what this is. So it is plastic tube with extension cords running through it. And on the other hand side, it looks like weights, or I don't know, maybe something electrical. If anyone knows what it is, please leave a comment. And then these doors open. Pull this. These here, both of those doors open into the paddock again. And we will probably leave those open in the summer so the horses can get ventilation. Now, the whole area, all the fence line is wired with electric. But I do see that's in some spaces, like right here, there's no wire. And if we go back here, there is a unit that had electric. See, looks like someone was going to repair it, but didn't get around to it or something. Right here, so right here is the small pasture. And what it does is kind of makes like an L shape around the house. So it goes from here all the way around the house, goes to full length of the property over this way, and then back towards the house, or even with the house. So they'd have a nice big area here on the small pasture. Over here, the gate is on right there for the big pasture, which is all this property. I don't know if we're gonna separate. I don't know if we're gonna keep it all as one. I'm not sure, because the comment came up that's like, Aim, once we get everything in, what if we get a bug up our butt and you want cows or goats or something like that? And the idea was if we can section off part of this little pasture, in which I'll show you how it runs when I get in the backyard. Section off that area and just have a smaller area here for other animals, but that won't be for a while. Okay, let's go back this way. That is the horse area right now, which I'm gonna leave the doors open. I'll take care of them later. Looks like they're looking for me. Hey, Aim, got the keys on you to open up the garage? Or can you open up the garage? Because I'm on the...
Keys are in the door.
Okay, so...
We're just cleaning up after.
You can do whatever you want. This is our backyard. And the idea with the backyard is to have the chickens and the ducks and the rabbits. And right now, what I was thinking, originally I was thinking, is having our rabbit hutches right here, but I see hostesses growing in. I might have to take those hostesses out. Nice big long, it's a nice big long wall with electric right up here in case we need it, and which would provide them some wind shelter besides the tarps I have. And back here is where I'm thinking about putting a quail hutch somewhere over here. Now I don't know if we're gonna fill it or keep all the quail together, but I'm gonna put that hutch right in this area somewhere. And then over here in this corner have the ducks and the chickens, and yeah, ducks and the chickens. Now walking up this way. Now we've had a lot of rain the last few days and the ground is a little bit soppy. You can probably hear my feet squishing. But walking up this way, come to the property, and these are supposed to be pawpaw trees. Now I've never heard of a pawpaw, but you're talking to a kid that grew up in the city. And what a pawpaw is a fruit that is kind of weird shaped, kind of almost like a coconut, but it's supposed to taste like banana pudding. And I've been looking on YouTube a lot, and there's a lot of recipes for pawpaw, such as pawpaw bread, pawpaw muffins, things like that. And that's the back of the house. Now it looks like they had an old swing here. Man, these trees are old. It almost makes me worried how old they are and how alive they are, if they're dead or not. Here we have, oh man, this fence is like Fort Knox. That I will have to fix. Let's see. Oh, I figured it out. So, now this area, let's which is another huge area. And then if I haven't said, the property is 5 acres. And this is very underutilized, if you haven't noticed. This is the front pasture, like I was showing you, kind of like L-shaped. That's the neighbor's pond over there. But in this area, I was thinking to have a garden. Now, at the Wood Street house, my garden, I had 2 20 by 20 gardens, which in this area, I think I can blow it up. I think I can go twice that size and more. So I might do like 50 by 50 with a greenhouse. I'm going to have a compost pile probably here in this corner, over here. And believe it or not, I am doing a lot of research into bees. I think having bees would be cool just for the honey. Walking over further, this wooded area, I think, would be perfect for an archery range. Put a tree stand up, maybe a little area on the ground, have some targets put up on one side, and the other side have tree stand or a little place where you can stand and shoot your bow. Into the property though. This way it's not on the road. The road's right here. So shooting into the property, which, as you can see, there are houses back there, but they're far enough that a bow shouldn't have no problem. Plus, if you're shooting downward on a downward angle, you should be fine. Everyone keeps asking me when's the gun range going in, but the property's not that big to where we can have that. And here we go, right back to the pond. I don't know if we're gonna do a dock or just have it the way it is. We'll come over, and how cool would it be just to stock it with fish? Now, I've got a friend, Stephanie Ward, that said that she's gonna help me stock it. She's a big fisher. She's a big fisherman. And she said when she catches some bass or bluegills or catfish, she'll save them and bring them over and dump them into the pond, which would be great. And coming back, and if I haven't told you before, take a look at what that is. If you don't know what that is deer print. If you haven't talked to you in a while, the day we're here looking at the house, and we're out front talking to the previous owner, we had 6 to 8 deer walking towards us. There were little ones, but nothing huge, nothing big. They got to about 30 yards in front by us and seen us, and then just walked off. How cool is that? So, and plus, the lady did say that in the pond, the ducks and the geese like to hang out. So, which kind of worries me. If we're having chickens and ducks, that bird flu is going around, so we would have to keep them separate. She opened this little patio area. Figured we can have just for like cookouts and have a barbecue grill and whatnot. Got our patio set we can bring over here. A good place for our barbecuer, our smoker, or just have parties. Amy got the garage open for me. Now all this equipment, previous owner left us, which is cool because look at that. I haven't tried starting these yet, but it's a hell of a lot nicer than the one I had. And snow thrower. Now these These push weed eaters are awesome. I use these at our hunting property all the time, and just tears it up. Now, the only car that I believe that we can fit in here is the Mustang, but this is not going to be a garage. This is going to be where we store our riding our mowers and such. And then for some time, I'm going to have the quail in here, just like we did over at Wood Street. I have the quail in here until we build our quail barn. Yes, I said it, quail barn. You guys are probably thinking I'm nuts. And leads us back to the front of the property. Look at this. And Amy says she's not a hillbilly. She's left all the doors open. It's lucky that it's spring and there's not really too many flies around, but she'll get used to it. And now this area here, like I said, over here looks like an old fire pit that we're gonna relocate somewhere else. I don't know. Amy and her family like to have a family camp out, which was over at my brother-in-law's over on he's on Sharon Lane. But I guess the plan this year is possibly have two. One over at my brother-in-law's and then one over here. We just have to figure out where the camping area is going to be. Probably over by my garden, because that's easiest. They can just go through here or go up along the pond into that field. So we still have a lot of work to do. We're starting to move in slowly but surely. I do have to work today, so Amy's just gonna start bringing some boxes over and do a little bit, as much as she can without me. And we're back at the pond. So that being said, thank you for all joining us. Thank you for all the congratulations and warm welcomes that we've had. We do appreciate it, and like to say that's once we start getting all moved in, I'll do more videos and what we're doing, when we move the ducks and the chickens and the horses and put the garden in. I'll keep everyone up to date on what we're doing. Until then, stay safe and God bless.